How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to episode 32 of Free Thoughts from Freedom Chiropractic and Rehab. Thanks for joining us. This week's quote of the week comes from Seneca. He said, "Ignorance is the cause of fear." The things that people often say that they're afraid of, things like snakes or spiders or public speaking or heights or death, they don't have a lot of experience with those things. Hopefully not with death, that'd be really bad. But they don't have enough experience to know that they don't have to fear the outcome of the encounter with a snake or the time spent public speaking. Because we don't necessarily know, we have a fear of that outcome. But if we spend some time learning more about things that we're afraid of, maybe we'd be less fearful. Okay, let's talk about health. So the quote we just talked about from Seneca, right? Ignorance is the cause of fear. I saw the quote and it reminded me of a patient that I saw about 2 weeks ago. She came in with another episode of acute lower back pain. Sharp lower back pain, no specific mechanism to explain it, but she had been in the office about 2 to 3 years ago with a similar episode. But I hadn't seen her in 2 to 3 years. She came in and we were talking and I was just trying to figure out what happened. And the thing that was on her mind, the question I asked, because at the end of every new patient visit, I always say to them, so tell me, do you have any questions? Is there anything I can help with? Is there anything I can answer? And her response was, do you think it's my herniated disc? It's a valid question because she was diagnosed on an MRI with a herniated disc about 2 to 3 years ago. And I said, well, it could be. It could be an irritated disc. But if it was the disc that hasn't changed, why all of a sudden after 2 to 3 years of no back pain, now all of a sudden we have back pain? There must have been something that irritated it. Now, it took us some time, a little bit of backtracking, but we figured out what it was, and it calmed her down to know that there was a reason for this back pain. Now, just because we have a history of a herniated disc doesn't mean we're destined to have a life of back pain. That herniated disc means maybe we're more likely to experience an episode, but you're not destined to have a life of back pain, right? That disc can bulge, and it stays bulged, and it gets irritated, and that's okay. We just need to calm it back down again. She went through 2 years with no pain, 2+ years with no pain, no episodes of pain. Sure, some stiffness and soreness from time to time. But this one episode does not mean that that disc is back again. It just means it was irritated. It was there the whole time, and she didn't have back pain. Now all of a sudden we did something, she was doing some gardening, and it just tweaked it enough that it's irritated again. Doesn't mean it's injured, doesn't mean it's herniated, doesn't mean it's protruded, doesn't mean we need to talk to a surgeon or a pain management doctor. We just need to get back on track with our exercises and get it back under control. So just because you have an episode of lower back pain doesn't mean that you've re-injured it. You may have just tweaked it a little bit. Now it's time for some good news. Honestly, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I think this might be my favorite good news that I've ever shared, and it's awesome. So as we approach back to school, there is a tradition at Bishop Kelly High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's been going on for more than 20 years. The first day of school, there's a line about an hour long to drop the kids off at school. As the cars pull up, the sidewalk is filled with seniors, and they cheer on the freshman class as they arrive. The tradition is that they have to kiss their mother goodbye on the first day of their freshman year at Bishop Kelly High School. What an amazing tradition. I'm going to share the video, but you have to watch it. It is such a cool tradition to see these seniors going nuts, cheering on their freshman classmates as they approach school for their first day at Bishop Kelly High School. Take a look, let me know what you think. I think it's amazing, and I think we need to see more things like this.